The prices of things skyrocket every single day. I mean, Indomie generation cannot
afford it. Any expensive love, brothers and sisters, please run. Love should not be expensive this period.
Okay, to live in Nigeria is expensive. To also leave Nigeria
is expensive.
It's pretty much expensive. So you may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger.
Just once you give drink, it's like, should I drink this before the food? Which food?
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Freebies podcast where your thoughts flow free. It's another interesting episode and I'm here with a special guest. He goes by the name Mario. Wait to let him introduce himself. Hey Mario.
Hi Freeborn.
Yeah, so I'd like you to tell us three interesting things about yourself.
Three interesting things. Okay. First of all, I'm happy to be here and then three interesting things about myself. I think I'd like to mention the adventurous part of me first because I'm very adventurous.
Alright.
And I love to travel a lot. I think I'm here because of that part of me. Right? Because I love to travel a lot.
What's the third?
The third is I love tech. I love tech. I'm all about tech,
bro.
Well, yeah.
Alright.
I would agree to that, right?
Alright. It's good to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Alright. So today we're going to be discussing the times we're in. We're in tough times. It's really tough out there. Nigeria is taking a toll on everybody, the state of the nation and all of that. So we're going to be discussing how difficult it is and how to navigate this period, these trying times in Nigeria. What do you think about it, Mario?
You see, the extent to which people are actually suffering, I think I did an analysis and then it became so clear that people are actually going through a lot. Because like the amount I currently spend to feed myself in a month, I know people who earn less than that. I'm like, so if I get to spend this amount to feed myself in a month, how about people who get to, budget their feeding, their clothing, rent, and all of that?
I know the funny thing, the prices of things skyrocket every single day. Like today's price, yesterday's price is not today's price.
That slogan has changed. It's not yesterday's price. Now, this morning's price is not afternoon's price, and it's not evening's price.
At all.
You just have to. So there's something I needed to buy, and I'm like, should I buy it at this price? Should I buy it? The price changes.
The best advice I give to you is when you want to buy something, just buy it at that time. Because the other time I went to buy an electronic, the worst thing, electronics are so expensive. I went to buy a headset. I went the first time, I told the man, okay, I want to buy this headset and all of that. He gave me a certain price. I went back because I wasn't really cool with the price. I went to another shop and I went back again. And the price had increased.
He increased the price because he definitely knows that you will not find it somewhere else at that price. So the moment you are back, okay, now you come and face what you've been, afraid of facing.
I swear, it's crazy. Food stuff too increasing every single day. And the one that really pains me the most is Indomie. Ordinary noodles. I mean, Indomie generation cannot
afford Indomie. That's sad. But it's been surprising that because I bought a carton of Indomie and it's been there for a while. I've not, cooked a lot of it. So when I saw that the price of Indomie had gone up, I just took the carton and looked at, wow, I must be a rich man. I still have this number of Indomie left.
It's good. So certain things are good. Like a bag of rice that is a little over 70k.
Man. From
what it previously used to be, so many things. I can't even count. Eggs. A crate of eggs now is like nearly 5,000 again.
Now the thing that is sad is before you get advice like, don't eat out, cook at home. It's way affordable. Now eating out or cooking at home, everyone you will feed the impact. They are all very expensive. Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But I'd like to know, how do you survive these tough times?
Okay. Do you want the dictionary answer? You want the realistic answer?
I want the realistic answer.
Okay, realistic answer. So first of all, it has become very imperative for you to have multiple sources of income.
Yeah.
And if you can, go get yourself multiple sources of income because it's very important. Right. Then for those who can, for people like me in tech, you could strive to get organizations that get to pay you in foreign currencies. At least you're earning in dollars and the naira is dropping. You're still at an advantage, just that you still get to buy things more expensively.
No, but I feel like you're still going to be affected either way.
Yeah, you will, but you're still at an advantage compared to somebody who's been earning 300,000 on a constant with the increment.
You've exposed yourself. So when
people
were excited.
I know they earn in dollar. I just advise. I just advise. But I'm just saying, right? So one way that has helped is multiple sources of income, but I also feel the impact because I know what I would have done with those earnings if things were not as expensive, if the inflation had not, been this high. And another thing that has helped is budgeting. Literally things that I didn't have to budget for before, and now have to pay more attention, to those things.
Even when you budget, you could carry a certain amount and say, okay, this is how much I'm going to spend in a month. But because the prices of things are increasing every single day, you'd exceed your budget.
So having a budget doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to religiously keep to that budget. It's just meant to be a guide. It's like a plan.
Okay.
Right? When you have a plan, you don't get to stick with the plan when circumstances change.
It can always be a plan.
It's a guide. Exactly, it's a guide. When you have a budget, you have what we call buffers. Right. Just adding things up to ensure that in case things increase. But imagine you don't have a budget. Your salary will probably finish at the middle of the month, right? And you would not be able to
that's very true. I also think living within your means, all right? You know very well that you cannot afford that particular
pass yourself.
but you want to budget for it. Spend within your means. Do you understand? Cut your cloak according to
your size, right? But more than ever, I think it is time for people to be very realistic, right? Don't try to impress anybody.
True.
Be realistic, because if you impress somebody and you spend more than you're supposed to spend, now only you go face that hunger for us. So
honestly,
even Gary now is expensive, so no more Gary to fall back to. So you don't impress anybody. Live within your means. Calculate when you need to get something.
Yes.
You may need something, but you may need to plan. Maybe within a 3 months period, right, to get it, save up for it. Don't just carry everything, carry all the feeding and put it into it. That could, put you at a very unpleasant place.
That's very true. What do you think about people that are planning to leave the country, that have even left the country, alright? Because the Nigerian dream these days is to japa. Everyone wants to japa because it's within the country, it's the state of the nation, What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I do not think I am in a position to judge anyone when they decide this is the best way for them to survive, right? We definitely will not take the same route or path to survive, right? So for those who leave the country and it gets good for them, that's good. I would love to leave at least, but I think no. I think I would like a situation when I can always leave, come back, leave. I like to travel.
They too can come back.
Not to some leave and 10 years we don't get to see. But what I'm talking about is, if you must leave, you have to plan that leaving, because I know people that have left and they are still sending money from here to that place. So which is
they're sending money
from here so that they can survive there, because they went there to meet what they did not expect.
But I feel like no country, no place is easy. You still need to hustle.
You don't pick money anywhere. If you go to the UK, for instance, you're like, oh, you hear somebody earns £1,500 and in your head you're converting into naira, but you're forgetting that you're not going to be spending naira there. The moment you get there, tax will take its own part, bills will take it. There are some constant bills every time.
But then there are systems in place.
Systems in place to help you make money.
No, apart from making money, there are systems in place to mitigate the effects. Okay, say now in Nigeria, you earn your money, you earn however you want. Let's say you earn a lot of money, like $1 million, all right? Because of the lack of systems, you could just go out now, okay? The bad roads, you spend money on that. The police officer on the road taxes you, you have to spend. Do you get, like, there are certain things that are going to make you spend unwarranted. But in the US, or in the UK, outside Nigeria, basically, that you'd only spend on things that the system has put in place. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, that's right.
But Nigeria, you get unnecessary expenditure.
Yeah, that is very correct. But those systems too, because of how it has been programmed, there's a certain amount you must earn before you're able to survive or live comfortably. Right here, with all of our epileptic system, so to speak, right, there's still people are still able to survive with very minimal stuff, because no one is coming to say, let me take, I know we take tax and all of that, but compared to those systems, for instance, there's a certain amount you must have before you can survive in London. There's a certain amount you must earn. That's why people work multiple jobs.
I've also heard people say to live in Nigeria is expensive. To also leave Nigeria
is expensive.
It's pretty much expensive. So I feel like we just need Nigeria to work.
We need Nigeria to work, because eventually our guys there, they're still clamoring, they're still longing to come back, because they even if they do not plan to come back, they plan to have investments here that they can put their trust on, because they still have family here. Right? So when you leave, you can't live with your entire family. So if this country doesn't work,
some people can.
you will feel the impact, because a friend was telling me that the amount he gets to send down home from the UK has now increased. Right? While he's happy that the naira has dropped against the pounds, But he now has to increase the amount of pounds he sends back. So eventually, you will definitely be affected.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So with all of this, let's assume you're a president for a day. Well, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Let me take my president's speech.
As president for a day to make Nigeria better.
Well, Nigeria is a complex setup, right? So 24 hours will definitely not be enough to transform all. But I think first, one thing I can achieve in a day is to reduce the cost of governance.
Cost of governance?
Yes, that's one crazy thing that, eats into what we don't have. Because how can you be living a big lifestyle on borrowed funds or funds you don't have? So 24 hours is very small a time to, implement policies and all of that. But cost of governance, if I can slash it and it remains that way even after I learn, I think that would make some impact.
Okay, I know you're giving a very political answer. It's in a cost of governance. Okay, I want you to give us a simple answer, materialistic answer, something that would favor the masses, that would favor you, favor I.
What would like?
As president,
okay, see now. Something that can favor everyone generally is to find a way to do something that would impact the cost of food.
Yes, I like that. Yeah. Well, me personally, I'll give us electricity. I like what Abia State.
How are you going to give us electricity in 24 hours?
No, I'll set systems in place.
In 24 hours? What system will you set in place? But once you leave, those systems will be taken out.
That's why I'll be a different president. I'm not an ordinary president.
Realistically, because once you leave, they're like, "Who is this son? Come on, remove that Abia project." How long do you think he's been on for?
He's not been in office for up to a year.
Yeah, but that project, the conversation has been in for a long time. It means that certain people just don't want it to work because it will not favor their business.
It's other people that are enjoying this country right now. They're having steady lights. I'm happy for them.
Someone said that by 2030, people staying in Abia State will go to Lagos to see how generator works because they have no more idea how it works.
Honestly. Okay, let's talk about the people that are passing through perilous time. Not like we're not passing through these hard times as well. Okay, but let us be advisors now. Let's advise them. Okay, what they can do to make it easier to reduce the burden this period. So I'd like to get your take on that.
Okay, so I said one about cutting your costs, budgeting, right? Even though you may not. What else have I been able to do? Okay, multiple sources of income that I mentioned. I'm trying to think of the things I do right now. And
do you know what I do?
What do you do?
I stay away from love, from relationship. Because relationship will make you spend.
Any expensive love, brothers and sisters, please run. Love should not be expensive this period.
At all.
This is not the time for love to be expensive.
Because if you're doing love, like you need to go on dates to that fancy restaurant. If you don't need to go there, you have to eat in. So think of it of feeding two people, an extra mouth. In these tough times.
Well, if you're doing love, I think both parties should be working, just so that high blood pressure will not kill anybody.
Exactly. I also think we should learn to manage our hunger. Tinubu said you already. He said you may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger. If you manage your hunger, for real, why are you eating 3 times?
Baby step of pain. Like, so you should be doing like 0-1-0 or 1-0-1.
The one that suits you the best. Like me personally, I prefer breakfast. I can't miss breakfast.
And after breakfast,
it's not like I cannot afford to eat other times, but like I always make sure I eat breakfast. So you can just pick one meal, okay? If you're passing through a difficult time, you pick one meal and say, "I'll stick with this meal through thick and thin."
You get this advice, okay?
Yeah.
I hope it works for people,
Yeah.
Pick one meal
for real.
But I think you should also focus on eating healthy. You don't have to eat. Even if you don't eat 3 times a day, those periods you eat, make sure you eat healthy. Right? So reduce the junks, because junks eventually take more money. So reduce the junks.
The health experts have been talking to us. If you do not hear them, it's not we need to hear them. Portion control, very important. Why are you eating a full plate of meal? Eat it in bits. You understand? Take smaller sizes. You're also saving your pocket at the same time.
Alright, it's not time to have protruded bellies. No,
exactly. Hit the gym. But hitting the gym too, you need to pay gym.
Yeah, so there's a better way to achieve, a flat stomach. Portion control. Eat less, eat well. Right.
Very good.
So that way you're achieving, 2 things with just one act.
Exactly. Do you have some other thing to add to navigate these tough times?
Well, mind the way friends come to visit, and when they come to visit, mind what you serve them.
Yes.
You know, make sure everybody is conscious of the fact that don't come and use time to
See,
this and you're
I don't
expecting
friends that even coming to your house.
That's why those ones you give drink. It's like, should I drink this before the food? Which food?
No, for real. And if you're coming to my house, please come with food. Don't expect to come and see food. Come with food as well. We'll dine together.
Alright.
But most importantly, I think I've forgotten to add one. You need to also hold God tight. Yeah, go to church. The bread of life is the most important. Sometimes you might not eat food, but when you eat the bread of life,
manna, just like manna from heaven came. Those
you know
periods,
this
right?
thing. You know
Right.
this thing.
And seriously, you need to hold God title.
Yes.
So like those of you and you don't know how you spend your money. Back then when the economy was still good. Now you don't know how are you going to cope this time around? So
Exactly.
hold God tight. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold God tight.
So just take all this into consideration. And I think we also need to help ourselves.
Yeah.
If you know you have, you can give to those that do not have, Because honestly, there's been lots of begging this period. I've seen people asking, you go on the road, you see people corporate beggar. I'm not trying to demean them or anything, but you see that people are suffering, people that are well dressed are begging on the streets.
Yeah.
So help them, help people.
So yeah, we made a joke about feeding friends and all of that. Yeah, but on a more serious note, if you can, right, I think you should extend a hand of help to people, right?
True.
If you can feed, don't just think about yourself alone. No.
Exactly.
If you can actually extend a hand.
Those of us like married are earning in dollars.
Dollars back. But that's going to be a good way to also survive, because when you hear what people are going through, you go thank God for your story.
Honestly. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
It's my pleasure.
We've dished out freebies. Yeah, but it's time for you to also have your own freebies.
Really?
So,
in this economy, I still giving freebies.
I mean, see, we're trying.
Like big man.
No, we just have to say freebies, courtesy of the freebies podcast.
Thank you.
I want to give you a vote of thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are our sponsors we are going to mention now?
And
Freeborn. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say thank you to Freebies podcast for this amazing. You guys, you don't want to know what's inside here. This costs millions of dollars
in this economy.
In this economy, guys, a big guy. Please subscribe. Make sure you're always listening, and also turn on the notification bell so that you get to see when new episodes are uploaded. Right. Thank you so much for this beautiful gift. It's a pleasure.
Thank you too for coming on the podcast. Maria said it all. Subscribe, like, share, and do all that good stuff. We'll see you next time. But in the meantime, I'm sending you all virtual hugs. Stay safe, stay well. It's the Freebies podcast, and we out. Bye, guys.